Since taking office this week, President Donald Trump has empowered ICE and Border Patrol to go after undocumented immigrants. Of course, that is already having an impact on the agricultural industry, which relies a lot on undocumented labor. Earlier this week in Bakersfield, California, for example, the number of field workers that showed up to work to pick the produce, that's in their stores that people buy and eat, the number of people showing up to work dropped by 75%. Now, this is after ICE agents in unmarked Chevy Suburbans were seen rounding up and detaining immigrants in the area, which, of course, left acres of unpicked oranges sitting in the California sun at the height of the picking season. Undocumented workers have also been targeted walking in and out of gas stations, getting breakfast at Home Depot, while driving around along the 99 highway, and pretty much everywhere. One of Trump's executive orders basically said you can go and you can target them anywhere. You can get them in church. You can get them everywhere. Now, of course, that's a bit of a problem. All right. Now, a lot of these immigrants now, instead of going to work, they're like, well, if they can just nab me anywhere, then I'm just going to stay home. I mean, what's the point of even going to work? They'll nab me at work, and you know what? If they nab me at home, at least I'm sitting home and not working my ass off in the sun. Okay? And now on Tuesday, the Department of Homeland Security announced that it would roll back an Obama-era directive, suddenly allowing the immigration agency to detain people, as I mentioned before, in sensitive areas such as hospitals, places of worship, courtrooms, funerals, and weddings. No place is safe. No place is safe. All right? I don't blame them at all for staying home then. Because, yeah, it is safer. And again, why would you want to go to work if they're just going to grab you at work or grab you at home? Now, that said, if you like vegetables, if you eat, which a lot of us do, if you like orange juice, well, guess what's going to happen when you don't have the workers out there to actually pick the vegetables and fruits? They're going to get more expensive. Oops. Now, wait a minute. It's just one county, right? Bakersfield only makes up a small portion of California's Central Valley. The county in which it resides, however, Kern County, produces approximately a quarter of the nation's food and is ranked within the top 3 agricultural counties in the nation for the last several years. Oops. Undocumented laborers are estimated to comprise more than half of the county's workforce, according to Cal Matters. So, you thought that the labor shortage, right, around COVID was bad. Just wait. But, yeah, that's okay. I'm sure all the MAGA guys who voted for this, they're very eager to go into the fields themselves and replace them. Right? I mean, after all, you're like, oh, man, we got to get those undocumented immigrants out of there. They're stealing our jobs. They're taking our germs. All right, well, go ahead and take those jobs then. Oh, you don't want to. Right. Yeah, that's going to be a problem. Now, Casey Creamer, president of the industry group California Citrus Mutual, told Cal Matters that people not showing up for work obviously is having a huge impact. Quote, we're in the middle of our citrus harvesting. This sent shockwaves through the entire community. People aren't going to work and kids aren't going to school. Yesterday, about 25% of the workforce. Today, 75% didn't show up. Richard S. Gearhart, an associate professor of economics at Cal State Bakersfield, said, losing the bulk of America's agricultural workforce overnight is a recipe for absolute economic devastation. Yeah, so that's not good. Now, he also said you were talking about a recession-level event if this is the new long-term norm. And so, hey, economic devastation, that does not sound good. That sounds bad. That sounds really bad. But there you go. If you voted for this, well, then the eventual spike in grocery prices and perhaps even the resulting recession, if that happens, that's on you. And before you say, well, you know what, these immigrants, they should have came in here the right way. Well, the problem is our immigration system is broken for a reason. And it takes many, many years, a very, very long time, and loads of paperwork and money to come in the right way. Okay? And look, while they're doing that, pretty sure we're not going to see a glut of workers coming down and willing to work these fields in the meantime. And even if they do go through all of that to come here, it's very unlikely that they do it just to do these jobs, which are really, really hard. And it's not just farm work, by the way. It's meatpacking plants, it's construction, it's, all the difficult jobs that basically Americans don't want to do because of how difficult they are. And so they're pretty miserable, all right? Even when offered decent pay, there are very few people, understandably, that want to spend all day in 100+ degree weather doing very demanding physical labor, such as this farm work. I mean, so much of our work depends on this undocumented labor. In fact, and by the way, Trump supporters, you all know this, right? The farmers, for example. Here's one Trump supporting farmer explaining what could happen to his farm and others if Trump actually does what he says he's going to do.
This farmer who voted for her, who voted for Trump, who still supports them, doesn't believe that they would round up immigrants and ask them for their immigration status, because it's an open secret that farms in this state are held up by undocumented workers. Are you worried, like some of your other farmers, that if there were a mass roundup of undocumented migrants, that you might lose workers? You might not have enough workers.
Well, the question I asked, how are they going to do that? Within 2 days, we will not have food. There will not be food anywhere.
2 days?
Yes. That's why I predict nobody will be filling the shelves, nobody will be producing food. If we once have to shut down and be gone, it's never coming back.
Does Governor Noem understand that?
I would think so.
Do they understand that? Oh, I would think so. I mean, she just says all this stuff, and Donald Trump, he was just talking. Really? All the executive orders that he just signed, including the one that gets rid of birthright citizenship, which is, of course, being challenged because it's in the Constitution, but is that just talk? No, it's not talk. He's literally doing the things that he said he was going to do. And it's going to be a disaster. The result of this, a lot of farmers are going to be hurting because ain't nobody going to come work the farms, which means the food is going to go up, the prices. I thought you elected Trump because, the food prices, it's going to go down because Joe Biden's made all the food go up. Okay. And Trump's going to make the food go down. The egg prices go down. Well, what's going on with egg prices? Oh, they're up. Now, it turns out the president doesn't control those things. Right now, we have bird flu epidemic. And guess what? Trump just signed documentation to hide, told these agencies, you need to hide information on bird flu so that people can't read about it. People don't know about it. As if that's going to make it go away. No, it's going to end up leading to tainted eggs, tainted chicken, and people are going to get sick. People are going to die. That's going to be the result. And all while, of course, they pay more for the pleasure of doing so. Look, it's important to note, by the way, that none of the executive orders that Trump had signed had anything to do with trying to lower the prices of anything, right? Whether it be eggs, housing, or healthcare, okay? But, thank goodness, he got rid of that DEI. Oh, yes, because we know the diversity, that was the real problem. Well, remember all this when you get your grocery bill. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, subscribe, hit the bell icon in order to get notified whenever a new video is released. And if you want to support independent, progressive media through this difficult time where it seems like everybody is shutting down, you can become a member on our YouTube page, you can become a subscriber on Facebook, or you can go to my Patreon. It's patreon.com/Jeff Waldorf. Thank you.